Hi there. So I'm going to do 5 different ways to start healing from the turmoil and emotional trauma that comes with ending a narcissistically abusive relationship. Now, the preface of this video being you cannot be somebody who is still in it. This video, while it may seem helpful to watch and other videos may seem helpful to watch, we cannot heal if we are still in an active fight or flight response, okay? So the first one is going to be to connect with other humans. I mean to do this intentionally. Set yourself a goal. Say, I'm going to give 3 compliments a day today, or I'm going to give 5 compliments a day today, or I'm going to get somebody's new Instagram. I'm going to meet somebody new and I'm going to go get their Instagram handle. Stuff like that. Really make it an intentional goal throughout your day to connect with somebody else. And you'll be surprised the impact that you have on people. People are going to remember that, and you never really know who you're talking to. I remember one time I met a guy that was a CEO for a relatively large business, a Fortune 500 company. And I met him through work, but I remember I didn't have much to do with him really, but I thought that his shirt and his pant combination was really complimentary, and I didn't think that I saw that a lot. So I just told him, I was like, I just wanted to say that you look really nice today. And he ended up being a connection that I'm going to continue to carry with me. He is a very nice person. It really did affect his day that day. He ended up having been gone through a really hard time with a family member, and I was so blessed and fortunate enough to give him the time of day, and he really, really appreciated that. The second way is going to be creativity. So that's another step that we can sort of work on healing from a narcissistically abusive situation. Creativity allows us a safe space to pour all that energy into and sort of come up with something positive. So whether that be knitting, cross-stitching, painting, drawing, writing, making music, something that you created, it's going to give those hormones a sort of timeout. When we are in a fight or flight response, our body is operating on Mach 50, right? So the creativity space gives us some time to sort of slow that down and really think about the different things that we enjoy. It really gives us a moment to be mindful rather than, I don't know about you, but I tend to future trip or freak out about things that are completely outside of my control. Having a safe space for creativity is definitely a great way to go about sort of channeling that drive, that energy. The third way that we can sort of start recuperating or recovering is going to be physical exercise. So for physical exercise, I strongly, strongly recommend any survivors of domestic violence. I always recommend jiu-jitsu. I always recommend some sort of striking classes. I do Muay Thai and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. And the physical exercise in and of itself is great. You could go for a run, and that's phenomenal. Great job. For me, martial arts gave me a sense of control back. I felt like if my kids and I were ever in a sticky situation, that at last ditch effort, I was going to have what it takes to keep them safe. And that made me feel a sense of control again. That made me feel reliable. I felt like I could come through for them. I felt like I could keep them safe. I felt like I knew what I was doing and I could handle myself. And it really, really, since, I've been going for 2 years, almost 2.5 now. And for the last 2.5 years or so, I have yet to feel out of control in a social situation. And it helps me even when my kids aren't around. If I'm just walking down the street, and unfortunately we're still at a time when men still think it's okay to approach us with really inappropriate comments. And that used to throw me for a loop. That used to make me really nervous, right? Because it's like somebody I don't know, a man, yelling at me with whatever opinion they may have had. And that's intimidating. That's a scary atmosphere. And now, even though today I wouldn't say anything back, I wouldn't yell at them back and escalate the situation, I feel like I have what it takes to keep myself safe. And it may not be for the long run, but I know in my heart of hearts that if somebody wanted to, let's, God forbid, try to put me in a car and take me God knows where, I know that I'm going to give it every ounce of effort I have, and that kidnapper is going to be thinking about me should they go try that nonsense again. I know that in my heart of hearts, that if this is like an average Joe just trying to scoop me up off the street, I have put in enough time and enough, effort in my martial arts training that it's going to be difficult for them. It will be a challenge, and that gave me that sense of control. And simultaneously, whenever I go train about, anywhere from 6 to 10 hours a week. So I'm getting 6 to 10 hours a week of endorphin release. I'm sort of regulating my fight or flight responses again, and I'm nowhere near triggered every day, but the days that I am triggered, I'm sort of already kind of tired. I'm kind of already, I'm like, oh, that sucks, but I'll be at the gym tomorrow, so no biggie. Or I'm going to the gym in an hour, or I just left the gym, so I feel tired, even though I'm a little bit anxious about maybe a visitation, or the narcissist said something nasty to me, which is pretty typical. Then I have, my energy is sort of all spent or about to be all spent, and I'm fine. I'm not going to be pent up, walking around the house stressed out because I'm headed to the gym, or I'm just getting back from the gym. The fourth way is going to be addressing the pain. And I cannot stress this enough. We cannot heal. We cannot be good parents. We cannot be good friends. We cannot be good kids to our parents if we are not addressing our inner pain. And this means going to therapy. This means getting treatment. This means, getting the right support system on board, whatever that may be. Some people need psychiatry, some people need classes, some people need education, some people need therapy. It really just depends. Some people need sobriety. It really just depends on what we're going through. But addressing the pain is going to be something that sort of catapults you into everything else that is wonderful and beautiful about healing. And I cannot stress this enough. Addressing our pain is the hardest pill to swallow. It's so hard. It's ridiculous. It's so hard. It is so hard to, and I'm by no means victim blaming, but as soon as I started holding myself accountable as far as why I allowed so many of my boundaries to be sacrificed when I was picking a partner, I addressed that and nipped it in the butt head on. The fifth way that I have for you today is becoming future focused. So becoming future focused includes, let's talk about financial goals. Let's talk about credit score. Let's talk about career goals, school goals. What are we going to do? How are we going to create this stable environment for our kids, for our family, for whomever may be involved? If you have a younger sibling and you're just showing them how to live right, whatever your motivation may be, becoming future focused is going to show them, not just tell them, how to behave and how to act. And so my kids are in the background. And so becoming future focused for me showed me that laugh, hearing my kids interact was one of the strongest influences for me, because I knew I was doing okay. They feel safe enough in the environment that I've created here to be comfortable with making a mess, with spilling things, with eating too much candy, with not eating enough candy. They became focused and happy in every moment, as kids should be, rather than looking over their shoulder and wondering if somebody's going to scream around them or yell around them or hit them, God forbid. And, addressing the pain and becoming future focused were two of the hardest things. I had to take accountability for, let's say, a credit score, right? I went through a divorce, as many of us do. Things suffer financially. We, go broke spending money on attorneys, trying to make sure we keep our kids safe. Becoming future focused was it was the second hardest. Addressing the pain was the first hardest. Being future focused was the second hardest for me. I had to really grow up. There was no more things like partying. There was no more clubs. There was no more staying out late with my friends. And, I haven't done any of that in quite a few years at this point, but there was no more of that. I had to really grow up and knuckle up and get ready to succeed in life. And so with that, those are 5 tips and tricks, and I'm sorry about the video quality tonight. It is nighttime. I normally do these in the daytime, but I just had to get this off my chest. I felt this incredible blessing to be a part of YouTube and be able to just upload whatever I want, and tonight I really wanted to help somebody. I just am hoping that I'm out here helping people and pushing others through, and I was able to climb the ladder out of the, domestic violence hole, if you will, the narcissistically abusive hole, if you will. And now it's my turn to look back down that ladder and turn around and help the next victim out. And I wish we could all have that mentality. And that's what an advocate mentality is to turn around and help the people behind us. So I wish you the best. You're doing such a great job. I cannot stress this enough to you. Just keep pushing. Start with these 5 simple steps for healing, and you got this. Once again, this is usually post-divorce, post-filing of divorce, all the posts. This is not for during relationship. This is not for continued exposure of narcissistic abuse. This is for we are out and we are kind of happy, but let's push it a step further. Let's get to the next step of happiness. So with that, I bid you adieu. You got this. You guys are all rock stars. And once again, you're not alone. Click on the video that I have linked after this. He is a fantastic support system for you. Really shows you how to heal and take those big chunks off of such a massive process that's hard to wrap our brain around. But he's phenomenal. I recommend him as well. Take a peek at his videos. Bye.